So what can you learn in the Health Coach Specialist training? The format of the Health Coach Specialist is online training modules that you can access at any time. So we've got a portal where we have videos, we have written resources, downloadable handouts and client resources. And then we supplement this with weekly webinars. So in the weekly webinars is really where you bring your learning to life. So you practice all the skills that you've been learning, you learn from each other, you get trainer feedback. And this is really valuable because you can't learn health coaching by just watching videos or reading books. You have to experience it and you have to put it into practice. So in the specialist, we cover a number of topics. One is the coaching approach and mindset. So really, how do you set that foundation of a coaching relationship? If someone's going to change their behaviour, they need to know how to trust you. And how do you set that up right from the beginning? We also look at communication skills. This is a lot of the same skills that you might have learnt if you've done any MI. It's really about reflections, summarising, using those sort of active listening, effective questions, and affirming a client, instead of some of the typical encouraging, advising, and cheerleading that we might naturally do. We also look at readiness to change. So, sometimes people don't change because they're just not ready. And the minute you understand that, you will be able to change your approach based on the signals and the cues that you're getting from the client in front of you. And you can always ask them, how ready are you to change? We have a whole module on motivation, and I think motivation is so interesting because we feel like if we just had the motivation, then everything else would fall into place. And in some ways that's true, but how do you help someone to motivate themselves? Because that's really where the gold is, when someone can connect to their own motivation and then they feel inspired to change and they don't need to be pushed or persuaded or encouraged. They're actually very happy to take action all by themselves. Confidence can be the reason that someone doesn't take action. So often they might feel that there's too many barriers in the way, or they've tried and failed in the past and they're just not feeling confident that they can do it. So we do a whole module on how do you support someone to come up with their own strategies for change? How do you help them to see where they've succeeded in the past and then come up with a plan that can help them to move forward? We also look at goal setting, and what's really interesting about goal setting is, I think as a dietitian, I thought I did goal setting quite well. The problem was I was setting my goals and not the client's goals. So in this module, we really look at how do you get a client to set their own goals? How do you set them up for success with really strong action plans that include tracking and accountability? We also look at the health coaching process. So if you're going to be doing a health consultation or if you're just going to be coaching, how do you actually structure your sessions? I mean, there's a flow to coaching, but there's also essential elements that help a client understand what's coming next and also how you can guide your client so that they're moving forward. We talk about how to review a client when they come back. Sometimes they take action and sometimes they don't take action and sometimes they take a little bit of action. So what approach do you need so that your client feels supported and that they feel encouraged and that they actually do have the right goal? Most importantly, what we do in the specialist is we teach you to become competent in your coaching. So how do you vary your style according to different clients? How do you choose the right technique in the right moment? So when you finish the specialist course, you actually can coach someone. You end up with a toolkit of active listening skills, self-awareness, appreciative inquiry, strategies that can help you to support a client to increase their motivation or to increase their confidence. We give you a toolkit of goal setting and accountability skills and ways that you can match your client's readiness to change with your approach so that you can actually move them forward to the next stage of change. So we encourage you to consider your current approach. Is there anything that's not working so well at the moment? Are you finding that there are certain clients who are challenging, that maybe you're labeling as non-compliant, or you're giving up on, or maybe you're pushing and advising and persuading and warning, which are all strategies that we know don't lead to long-term change? There's probably a lot of things that you're great at. So also reflect on what is working and what are the gaps in your skills and knowledge. So at Accredited Health Coaching, we've got training courses in behaviour change. We're an approved provider of the Health Coaches Australia New Zealand Association, which is the health coaching body in Australia and New Zealand. We've got courses that are basic introductions to health coaching. Then we've got the specialist, which is the foundation skills. And we've also got a mastery course, which is for those of you who might have already studied some sort of behaviour change and you want to take that to the next level. So visit our website, take a look around, and please send us an email. We're happy to chat through any of your questions.